welcome back from the weekend. Well, it's a partly cloudy day, but I think the Librans are optimistic, and I think you're quite futuristic today. The moon is in Aquarius, so emotions are focused on your heart. So your heart is emotionally sensitive today. The things you love, or your love for yourself, or lack for love of yourself. It can go either way, depending on where you are when it comes to progression of how far you are in your heart. But recognize your heart is where your emotions are focused on. That's creativity, that's romance, and whatnot. But today's topic really does orbit around the sun, which is at 29 degrees of Gemini. Now, this is a two-part thing for you. On the one hand, this is a test, so to speak, to pull you into the old beliefs. Remember, all month long, Librans have been changing how they believe, logging into new philosophies, upgrading your own personal collective consciousness. We call that a belief structure. So today is kind of a tested degree, the 20th degree. You might get tested into the old thinking, the old beliefs, or for a second wonder if you're really right, or whether or not you can put yourself behind those theories. If that's the case, just notice where it is you're slipping, okay? What's not working, what feels doubtful. Drill down to that, figure it out, reverse it. It's a last-minute test before we launch our Lightcast, which will be tomorrow. But because of where you are, the sun is conjuncting what we call your solar midheaven, which means you will likely be very futuristic today, because at the same time you are forging ahead over your purpose, over what you want to do, and this is the shift in tomorrow's transit, which begins career and legacy. So in other words, this is also a test of all of your beliefs coming to one magical legacy point. But there's more. Mars. Mars also at 29 degrees, focused though on trust and where your boundaries are lined. So remember, we worked on trust. You're continuing to work on trust. You're expanding when it comes to intimacy, trust, and boundaries. But what you've learned so far, that might be tested. In other words, if you have a new boundary up, maybe with someone or with yourself, you might be tested on that boundary as well. And it might be a dual test where a boundary is tied to a belief, and the two are being tested together. But remember, if it's about your heart, it's about your inner child, that's just where you're sensitive, and that might likely light the fuse, but the lessons are a little separate. Now, we got Jay-Z today in the house, meditation vibration going live. Julie's going to help us retro look back at last week and surviving the lunar eclipse hangover. It was an intense shift of energy in Gemini, and it might help you with today's test. So check it out. She's live everywhere the garden is blooming. All right, Your Honor, that's all we have to start the week. Tomorrow, things simmer down. Until then, live, love, be.
So